And now, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude this remarkable segment on the book launch, it's time to hear from the man behind this insightful work. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Shailendra Kumar, the author of the book, to say a few words and address the audience.
Good evening, everybody. I am indeed indebted to the prominent savants on the dais for not only taking time out, but also taking the pain of finishing the first read of the manuscript before picking up the pen to write the forewords. I am doubly thankful and pay my gratitude to each one of you, sir, for accepting my request against a fast-ticking clock. I am no less thankful to all of you who have gathered this evening to celebrate the launch of this book, China's U-Turn Towards Forbidden City, published by my friend Shri Chandra and Vikesh Dhyani, the Oak Bridge Publishing. As the dignitaries on the dais rightly pointed out, they have done a pretty elegant job. So my congratulations to in fact, I mean, more than the publishers, I would give credit to the editor, the Priyanka, who happens to be around. So tremendous job done by her. Thank you, Priyanka. Friends, in today's digital world, writing blogs has become a fashion, very popular fashion. The footprint of writing books in print is apparently fast receding. I'm pretty sure a good number of publishers will also watch for such a trend. But let me share a very interesting piece of fact. What percentage of literate population in a country buys and reads books is one of the prominent indicators of a developed society or aspiring to be a developed society. As per last year study, the United States of America tops the ranking with 30% of the global market share of book buyers. China apparently has also improved its ranking as it accounts for 10% of all the books bought globally and sold globally. So this is one of the indicators, in fact. What percentage of a civilized society actually reads books? Coming back to my book, which is, of course, India also figures somewhere, but we don't figure so close to other prominent players in that survey. So that's the reason I'm not giving the percentage. Coming back to my book, which is, of course, a compilation of my weekly column, The Cobweb, all I would like to say is that if you are a Sinophile or a Sinologist, or perhaps a polymath, or a business leader, or a diplomat, or a researcher, or just a keen student of geopolitics, you will certainly enjoy that if you have interest in geopolitics and geoeconomics and how it impacts our life, day-to-day life. You will certainly relish it. I have, as dignitaries pointed out, I have very carefully chapterized, the major areas under different rubric. In fact, I have carefully monikered them to grab your eyeballs and also give you a very lavish insight, gift wrapped in each chapter. One particular chapter titled, A Peep into the Freudian Iceberg of Xi Jinping, may instill a bit of fear about the future of our planet and the survival of human race. The lurking threat is the nuclear warfare, which may global experts believe, in fact I also believe so, may become a reality by 2027. when Beijing is going to go for an all-out war to annex Taiwan, and also some vital coral reefs, atolls, and islets in the South and East China Sea. A very dramatic change which is worth paying attention to is that nuclear states have begun amending their doctrine to use nukes even against non-nuclear countries. That's a very interesting and dangerous development which humanity has to face. That so far, the common doctrine for all nuclear empowered countries was that in case somebody uses, then they will not restrain themselves. But now the amendment is that even if somebody is non-nuclear, they are amending their doctrine. Our doctrine is like the public pledge, the declaration to the global population, the people, the global leaders. One of the countries which did recently is, of course, Russia against Ukraine. And it's a dangerous trend. I see very, very dangerous trend in this. Many other countries which have nuclear aspirations, perhaps they will also do the same. And that's very risky because unfortunately India is sandwiched between this kind of dangerous players in our neighborhood. And if they also start doing it, that causes very existential threat to us. You have already heard so much about China from the dignitaries on the dais. Therefore, I will not talk at length. However, I would like to briefly summarize the entire book covering the period 2020 to 2024. So it's a story of last 4 years. I'm pretty sure that it is there very live in your memory. Good number of you will recall those incidents and episodes which I have tried to piece together and come out with some insights. At the outset, I would like to first praise the People's Republic of China and the multiple generations of Chinese people who deserve loads of credit for attaining jaw-dropping economic growth unparalleled in the history of in the economic history of the world. What contributed to their astounding success was their 996 work culture, which means 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and 6 days a week. This practically means 72 hours a week. Although it was in violation of the labor laws, but it was a widely accepted cultural trait for the hardship-baked common Chinese people. They wanted to alter the fortune for the generations to come. And that was their motivation. The sacrifice of several generations earned the economic muscles for the country, whose latest per capita income is above 13,000 US dollar. Everything was humming quite pleasant for them till a change in the leadership in 2012. The new leadership had a silent dream to build not a modern civilization, but an empire like the one mirrored by the Forbidden City in Beijing, and that is how a major part of the economic surpluses in trillions of dollars was diverted to fortify its military firepower. An explicit expression was given to its dormant military ambitions when China began demonstrating its territorial expansionist overtures on the borders with its multiple neighbors, the South China Sea, and its filial territories like Hong Kong and Taiwan. It all began during the pandemic when the global leaders were walking a tightrope walk to blunt the fangs of the most belligerent virus of the corona family. The growing stance of its aggression on multiple fronts repulsed many of its key trading partners who are now equally aggressive and methodical to geopolitically and also geoeconomically isolate China and denied access to modern chips and Western markets. Currently, its economy is on a slippery curve, and notwithstanding its hugely subsidized and cheap products, which of course Justice Patnaik talked about, the overproduction, it has begun losing markets and repute in many parts of the world. I have a dedicated chapter in this book on how China's footprints are going to shrink in the global economic landscape in the coming years, and how India can be the one in the most talked about buzzword, China plus one, in the alternative global value chain in the making. India is perhaps the most qualified economy to become the next China by putting the right policy mix and the political stability. Our 2047 goal to become a developed economy is quite feasible and achievable. With these words, let me once again thank the dignitaries on the dais and all of you for being here this evening and for your support. Thank you all.